as they come forward to sing the national anthem. Now I'd like to introduce the following students who will be joining the armed services to stand in front of the podium for the singing of the anthem. Please join me in welcoming our Superintendent, Andrew Corey, as he delivers his opening remarks.
Good morning. As Superintendent of SAU 41, it is my pleasure to welcome you on behalf of the Hollis Brookline Cooperative School Board to our commencement activities. There are just a couple housekeeping things that I'd like to make sure you're aware of. We have restrooms on the field and the building is open. If anybody needs to, the auditorium is live streaming the event. It is air conditioned. I will accompany you. We also have shade tents on both sides of the field. There is water available. And please, when we get to the graduation of the diplomas, please do not crowd the stage. We have a photographer and everybody will get wonderful shots. And at this time, it is my pleasure to introduce our student body president, Ms. Patel.
That doesn't look like Tushy.
Good morning and welcome to the 2019 Hollis Brookline High School Commencement Ceremony. Joining me on stage today are Superintendent Andy Corey, Assistant Superintendent Gina Bergskog, Member of the Cooperative School Board Krista Whalen, Principal Rick Barnes, Assistant Principal Bob Willett, who's out in the crowd, Assistant Principal Amanda Zeller, and Assistant Principal Lauren DeGennaro. And Mrs. Flaherty. So before I begin, I'd like to thank the entire SAU staff, administration, and support staff for their time and effort in making graduation possible every year. I'd like to personally thank my parents for showing me how hard work pays off, my younger brother for always making me laugh, Mrs. G for being one of the most influential and impactful teachers I've ever had, Mrs. Bumpus for all her pep talks throughout the years, and my senior council. It has been an amazing 4 years. Thank you for all your support. I wouldn't be up here today without you. There's so much I could say while I'm up here, so much I want to say to all of my fellow graduates. However, a couple minutes is never going to be enough to talk about all of the incredible memories we've made as a class from the day both towns became one to now. I never believed anyone who told me that high school would fly by, but it surely did. I clearly remember Mr. Barnes welcoming us to our first day of freshman year. It's a new beginning, a clean slate, he said. We went from being nervous and unsure of ourselves to confident individuals who are ready to take on whatever may come our way. Our class has never been afraid to stray away from the norms set by the classes that walked these halls before us? Why have a homecoming dance like the rest of the high schools when you could have a harvest ball? Remember when we did our version of Family Feud for 1 year instead of HB Idol? And just a couple days ago, we did multiple senior pranks because one is just not enough. As a class, we weren't afraid to try new things. And as individuals, we must remember that the best things come from change. Don't be afraid to do something that's different, because that's who we are. We are different, and always be proud of that. Looking back now, I can say for sure that we all could have changed a few things. We surely could have stressed a bit less and laughed a bit more. That's something I hope we carry into the future. High school is one big learning experience that's more personal than it is academic. We've learned what works best for us, how to de-stress, how to have fun, how to procrastinate till the very last minute, but still get it all done. It's a talent you acquire whether you want to or not. I hope that as we open the next doors to our lives, we look at the big picture, stress less, and laugh more. June 8th, 2019, the day we've been looking forward to since we stepped into this building. But take a moment to look around you. Embrace today and what it all means, because we won't ever get to relive our high school graduation again. Take as many pictures as you'd like to capture today, because you will definitely want to look back at them years from now. We've been told to start planning for what we want to do after high school since freshman year, and because of that, we're conditioned to think about the future. But I challenge you to live in the moment. If you get so wrapped up in preparing for the future, you won't be able to remember these precious moments, because as much as we sometimes disliked high school, we're all smiling.
Class, walking on the wrong side of the hallway, and thinking about why exactly Vladimir Putin's our principal. Throughout our 4 years here, We've been through a lot and made a lot of memories in the process. Remember when Mr. HB was a thing? And what about it when it was shut down? I gotta say, Joey did give us a nice story that day. We don't call him story time for nothing. What about the time when my son Evan hit the backboard against the shot against Mitch West? Or when we probably had the most hyped snail race ever last week? Can't forget Mr. Fox showing us Taylor Swift music videos in Honors Lit either. From beginning till the end, our journey is filled with banterous moments I think a lot of us will remember for a while. And what about our achievements, you may ask? We've got seniors who have the honor of saying they've won 4 D1 state titles. We've got seniors who can say they've won national awards in music and robotics. We've got seniors who are committed to colleges to play a sport. We've got seniors who are at the top echelon of academic excellence, having the honor to say they're going to a top academic institution next year. And you can't forget to add the other 200 Hollis Brookline seniors sitting behind me, who are special each in their own ways, contributing to the diversity and achievements of our class even more. The future. It's what everyone's been talking about lately. Where are you going to college, or what do you plan on majoring in? But I'll tell you what the future of this class is. It's aspiring to be an opera singer. It's becoming a doctor, helping the lives of other people. It's becoming a psychologist. It's becoming a salesman, an actuary, an engineer, a vet, a pilot, a teacher. I can go on and on. And with all the respect in the world to those who choose to do so, it's serving the country by joining the armed forces. We're all from these 2 little towns in the small state of New Hampshire. But the impact we're about to make is going to be at a much larger scale. Personally, I've learned many life lessons throughout high school, and each lesson made me a better person. I'd like to share a few with you all today.
There's no sound
1.
in the auditorium.
Every thought you get, every decision you make, and every action you commit matters. The end goal, whatever that may be for you, is a result of a complex journey that consists of many obstacles, thoughts, and decisions you have to make. Even if one little thing changes, the whole goal at the end could change, and sometimes that can be for the worse. Never think something doesn't matter, because one way or another, it may just come back and affect you. 2nd, you may have probably heard this in a pep talk by your coach or in a motivational speech, but I'll say it again because of how important it is. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's a part of success. At some point or another, you will fail in life. But that isn't bad, because failure is the best teacher there is out there. To succeed and accomplish the goals you want in life, you may fail while doing something to realize something else is right. And like I said, everything happens for a reason, so when you fail, good job. It's just another step in a long journey. And lastly, always remember there's a part of you that grows with time and experience. As a player and individual, basketball put me through some of the toughest tests. Stand up for yourself, and I can assure you good things will happen. Once-in-a-lifetime opportunities like taking and hitting a buzzer-beating shot to win a playoff game will come to you as well. Just trust the process. It's been an honor serving to be your class president for the past 3 years. I couldn't have asked to represent the class in any other way. And as I've been saying since who knows when, no days off. Mr. Prez out, thank you.
Thank you, Drew. You'll quickly see that there's a theme that emerges with this group that you have before you today. Every year, I do my best to try to encapsulate the essence of each graduating class. And every year, it's a challenge. Educators get just as lost as parents in the day-to-day minutia of their kids' lives. I rely on my usual process to move me from the trees back to the forest. That process begins in reflection upon all the great things, and sometimes not so great things, that happen in any given year. This year, my process wasn't working. I was stuck in the details. Google searches for key quotes and sage advice were failing me at every click of the keyboard. Nothing seemed
Do you want me to
good
change it or leave it as is?
Nothing quite right to describe
Okay,
this
yeah,
year
because I
or
can
this
hear it from my
particular
phone
class.
really well.
Finally, I resigned myself to take a break, leave it alone, walk away. It is then that it came into clear focus, and from a source that ironically had never been part of my process. The 2019 Brookline High School yearbook. As I opened the first page, boom, there it was. My theme found me, fell into my lap with little effort. First picture, class of 2019, Jacob Abraham. Had a piece of wisdom for me, which for I had been searching. Jacob wrote within his quote, "Trust the process." It's a great quote. Our process here at HBHS has been fairly straightforward for a number of years. Take the very bright students that are sent to us every year, and all of you are bright whether you think that or not. Provide the highest quality instruction and rely on supportive families for the best outcomes. The students before you today are exemplars of a successful process. High SAT and AP scores? Check. How about student athletes, as Drew mentioned? Check. We have multiple state champions sitting before you today, some many times over. And by the way, they aren't done yet. Boys baseball is making a run for their first title in 12 years at Delta Stadium on Monday. If the baseball team are, as our coach describes them, the dirt dogs of the diamond, then our robotics team showed equal grit at their many competitions. Team 1073 earned a spot at the World's Championship in Detroit for what I believe is the third year in a row. And can now say they finished as the best team in the history of the program at HBHS. If you had the pleasure of attending Mamma Mia, Guitar Night, or any of the many concerts this year, you would also know that this group before you contains some of the best musicians, vocalists, thespians to ever grace our storied stage. The process for success in the performing arts is talented students plus Barbosa plus Umstead equals awesomeness. Hundreds, if not thousands, of hours volunteered in service to others. Check plus in that category. And speaking of those who give, how about serving our country? Check double plus on that front. This class has over 5 times the national average of students entering the U.S. Armed Forces. Has this group made an impact on our HB community? Absolutely. And not just when it comes to senior pranks. Plural. Members of this class lobbied administration to make the commitment to the Challenge Day, a social emotional initiative focusing on resilience, kindness, and caring. It was a long process for HB The Change to bring the program to our school. Challenge Day pushed our community out of its comfort zone. We are known as a community more comfortable with the gray matter that delivers our academic performance than the gray world of feelings and emotions. Thanks to a group of students who stayed with the process, this is an initiative that will continue well after they graduate. Whether it was on the playing fields, in the classroom, on a stage, or pursuing individual passions, your commitment to the process paid off. If you don't think it has yet, don't worry or rush it. There is no need to win the race by tomorrow. This quote will probably cause an issue for Celtics fans, but take the words of Phil Jackson to heart. Approach the game with no preset agendas, and you will probably come away surprised at your overall efforts. Trust the process through both success and failure. As Drew mentioned, the two are intertwined. You cannot have one without the other. You can also not have another senior year. And while that might be either good or bad, you can trust the process will go on. Regardless of the good or bad, I promise you that your best is yet to come. We look forward to watch how the game unfolds for you. Enjoy the ride and always trust the process. Congratulations, class of 2019. And now, I will announce the 2019 top 10 students along with the school they will attend in the fall. When your name is called, please stand and be recognized. Rachel Joan Serrato, Northeastern University. Amira Zahara Elfadil, Northeastern University. Kaido Kramarsik, Brown University. Drew Miglani, Georgia Institute of Technology. Nora Elizabeth Miller, University of Pittsburgh. Caroline Clarissa Pack, McGill University. Peter Christopher Shazinski, University of Waterloo. Felix Yang, Northeastern University. Your 2019 salutatorian, Catherine Emma Partridge, Dartmouth College. And your 2019 valedictorian, Nicole Sales Plummer, University of Miami, Frost School of Music. I will now welcome Ms. Patel back to the microphone.
Please welcome Kay Partridge, class of 2019 salutatorian, who will deliver her address.
Good morning and welcome, administration, staff, families, friends, and fellow graduates. I want to begin by thanking the dedicated administrators, school counselors, teachers, and staff members who have put in so much time and effort in the past 4 years of our lives. And to the friends and family who have gotten us through every procrastinated project and nerve-wracking trial these halls have brought us, we could not be here graduating without you. Although the idea of giving a speech today hasn't quite frayed my nerves, if my freshman self could see me, I think I would have started dropping my grades just low enough to leave the speech writing to other, better equipped hands. As I have not yet managed to figure out the physics behind time travel, I have instead been spending more time than is reasonable trying to think of what I would consider important enough to say to you all. What I've come up with is that I can't possibly effectively sum up enough of high school in this brief amount of time. Instead, I'm going to have to limit myself to a brief overview of some of the most important things that I have learned from each of my classes this year. So prepare to sit through a very abridged version of my typical school day, and I hope that something in this mess of information will be meaningful. Period 1, chemistry. The best way to get a class of tired high school students excited first thing in the morning is to light things on fire. Safely, of course. Don't try this at home, kids. The most engaged I ever saw my chem class was the time we all stayed after the bell just to get a second glimpse of the fire show at the front of the classroom. Learning should be engaging, spark our interests, and draw us in so that we eagerly anticipate new, unexplored information. Period 2, psychology. Varied perspectives are important. In psychology, they've got a whole handful of ways you can approach a topic, and I mean a literal handful. The very first mnemonic device that I learned had one perspective for each finger, 2 for the thumb, and another for the palm. Pick any topic, and there will be explanations that deal with unconscious motives, biological responses, and social influences, all of them working together to approach every detail from every possible angle. I can't think of a better range of possibilities to have when venturing out into the crazy world around us. Period 3, teacher's assistant for Spanish. Learning does not always mean learning. Now I know this is a completely nonsensical statement to make that implies a lack of understanding of the English language. Luckily, I did not develop this idea from an English class, so I can ignore pesky things like properly utilizing the English language. What I mean is that learning is sometimes creating or observing or teaching. Just because you don't find yourself in a typical classroom setting with a concrete lesson plan and a daily homework assignment doesn't mean you are not filling your brain with knowledge and skills to carry into your future. Period 4, Spanish. Practice does not make perfect. I know that your parents or coaches or piano instructor repeated this refrain to you, as though that in itself could force your fingers to play the right notes. But I regret to inform you that this is not the case. Perfect is a usually unachievable, lofty goal that is highly overrated. What practice does make are mistakes, progress, and a well-earned sense of accomplishment. A word or two wrong in a string of sentences in a second language. Not perfection, but reaching a level where you can be proud of the work that you have put in to come this far. All you have left is to go even further, to push yourself to make more mistakes and not be afraid of the opportunities that they provide you to grow. Period 5, government. Time is a precious thing. When you are forced to practice an opening statement involving 4 different people until it hits exactly 4 minutes, or, better yet, consolidate an entire argument into a 30-second soundbite, you will begin to appreciate the importance of brevity, the importance of clarity and precision, and being able to communicate, not necessarily in flowery prose, but effectively. Period 6, literature. Flowery prose is a beautiful thing. Yes, I just said the opposite, but you have to understand that I went from a government class to literature, and if my brain was required to switch from the Equal Protections Clause of the 14th Amendment to connecting Taylor Swift songs to the ancient poet Sappho on my last day of school, then the rest of you should very well be subjected to the same treatment. Artistic expression of any kind definitely holds an important place in our world. It's not just for our enjoyment, but also because as humans, we have complicated emotions and stories, and having an outlet to channel that through is as useful as breathing. Period 7, physics. Ending is not always a bad thing. When high school comes to an abrupt stop, and we find ourselves outside of these familiar walls, something else new is starting. As any physics student can attest, energy is always conserved. So all of the energy that was put into high school is just being refocused. Whether it's college, or a job, or serving our country, there is a new beginning waiting for you to take all of the potential within you and transform it into kinetic energy as you go into the start of your newest journey. So seek out captivating experiences. Look at the world with a rainbow of perspectives. Take advantage of every opportunity to learn and practice. Know when to be precise and when to let your creativity take over, and never stop moving forward. Thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2019.
Please welcome Nicole Plummer, class of 2019 valedictorian, who will deliver her address.
Good morning, and welcome to our faculty, administrators, members of the school board, and all friends and family gathered here today. And to my fellow graduates, congratulations. We've reached the finish line, haven't we? Every Cav block, Harkness discussion, popcorn day, late night desperately searching for the themes of Lord of the Flies, all of it is behind us now. All of it has led up to this day that some of us have awaited with excitement, some with dread, and most of us with a healthy mix of the two. This day that is supposed to tell us that finally we are ready. Ready for what comes next, ready to take on the real world, to embrace our hard-won independence. Well, I don't know about you all, but I'm not feeling too ready. I've been thinking about it a lot these past few months, this concept of independence. Checking off the final to-dos of high school, registering for college classes, going to the doctor's office for the first time all alone. I don't think I'm alone in feeling incredibly overwhelmed as I look forward to what is still to come. What is expected of us now when we are handed that diploma, when we drive out of that parking lot for the last time? And so, a couple of days ago, this wacky train of thought led me to, of all places, iconic 60s Christmas film Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And yes, I know I'm talking about Christmas in June, but bear with me. I don't know if you all remember the scene in which Rudolph first meets Hermie the elf, you know, the one who wanted to be a dentist. But in this encounter, between two scared and lost souls determined to make it on their own, Hermie says to Rudolph, "What do you say we both be independent together?" Now, to 6-year-old me watching this movie for the first time, this line was absurd. Keep in mind, this is a girl who actively encouraged her parents to go out and leave her alone with a babysitter because it made her feel like a big girl. But in my mind, Hermie was ruining the whole point of this fabled independence I dreamed of achieving. Wasn't the end goal of childhood to reach a place where you need no one, where you are capable of doing it all yourself, of never having to ask for help? Isn't that what today is supposed to signify? I certainly thought so. And I spent a good portion of my childhood trying to reach that place. I avoided group projects at all costs because they required me to collaborate. I have kept a detailed agenda since grade 4 to keep myself on track with each passing week so that no one but me needs to remind me of my responsibilities. I learned to cook full dinners all by myself, and by the time I hit young adulthood, like most other naive teens, I thought I had it all figured out. But what no one ever tells you when you're a kid is that growing up means you're dealing with a lot more than just the things you can write down on a to-do list. And when you try to navigate those things all by yourself, to take every problem in stride, to handle all of your issues quietly and independently, all you are doing is creating a recipe for disaster. Because the reality is human beings are not meant to go through life alone. It has been this way for thousands of years, since the first prehistoric humans bonded together to brave a dangerous and terrifying wilderness. They needed each other merely to make it through the day without being killed. We, especially teenagers, like to pretend as if we have evolved to a place where this is no longer the case. As if now that the fear of being eaten has been removed, we no longer need the company and support of others. Well, after going through the dangerous and terrifying wilderness that is the high school experience, I can say without a doubt that this philosophy is poppycock. Throughout the past 4 years, I've begun to learn some of the caveats to this notion of independence, 3 of which I have found to be the most important to remember at all times. First, it's okay to need your parents. Let me tell you, there is something truly wonderful about having a mother who works right across the hallway from your locker, and not just because she can write you a pass whenever you need one. I regret to say that I spent a good portion of my time as an underclassman avoiding room 317 like the plague, not wanting to seem as if I needed my mother to get through the school day. But then, in junior year, I could no longer avoid the classroom because it became the location of my 5th period AP Calc class. Now, you'd think having your mom as a teacher would be uncomfortable, but it turned out to be one of the best things that happened to me in high school. Yes, she helped me with all of my calculus at the kitchen table, and yes, all of my friends texted me when they were having problems on their problem sets to ask her for help, but this year also allowed our relationship to evolve. You see, it's pretty hard to hide a bad day from your mom when you're stuck sitting in the front of her classroom for 70 minutes, and it's even harder to be rude to her when you really need her to help you figure out integration. But throughout the entire year, I was also continually reminded of the kindness and capacity for love that my mother has. By watching her teach others, I was reminded that it's okay to still let her teach me, even though I may be trying my best to be an adult. Remember, even Rudolph returns to his parents in the end. And so, during senior year, I've tried to stick my head into the calc lab every so often during Cal block, and I wasn't embarrassed to tell my mom I loved her when I passed her in the hallway. And when I had a bad day, I knew I could come home and cry about it with her. Because here's the thing. In our parents' eyes, we will always remain their child. Second, the best friends you can have are the ones that push you. I have learned that there are going to be a lot of people in your life who are yes men. Those friends who support you no matter what, but also do not speak up when you're making decisions that really probably ought to be stopped. They are always there for you, but they are content to let you remain as you are, safe in your comfort zone. These will be most of the people in our lives, and it is of course important to have this encouragement around you as you tackle everything on the path ahead. but I have also learned just how important it is to recognize the true gems that will lovingly push you to grow and improve yourself, even if they do not always tell you the things you want to hear. You see, when Rudolph and company landed on the island of misfit toys, they would have remained forever in the safety of an island that they did not belong on. But King Moonracer limited them to a one-night stay, giving Rudolph the time he needed to think over what he needed to do, and ultimately pushing him to return home just in time to save his family and Clarice. Yes, it may be a silly claymation Christmas movie, but the point stands. We all need those people who are willing to call us out, willing to say the hard truths and cut the crap. Think back on the times in your life you consider to be the greatest periods of personal growth. I am willing to bet that each of these instances is also signified by a person or persons in the background pushing you forward. I know for me, these are the people that are my very best friends, my closest confidants, and I would not be who I am today without them. So when you find these people, do not let them go. Finally, it is not weak to be vulnerable. The wisest words I heard during the 4 past years were spoken to me by Mr. Barbosa in what I considered to be one of my weakest moments. I had reached that place that we all reach at some point or multiple points during the year where I had absolutely nothing left to give. Call it a burnout, call it rock bottom, whatever it was, I felt in that moment as if I had become some pathetic version of myself. 3 AP tests in 3 days, countless Tech Week rehearsals and after-school activities, all of it had finally taken its toll, and much to my chagrin, I found myself in tears in front of my favorite teacher at 11 p.m. I don't remember all the words I said, but my sobbing tirade ended with me exclaiming, "I just feel so weak." And although I may not remember what I said, I will never, ever forget what Barbosa said to me next. This is not what makes a person weak. Quite the contrary, in fact, in my eyes, being able to be this vulnerable and honest shows more strength than you could know. There is no need to hide your troubles from the people who care about you, especially because that's when you need them the most. Struggling with all of the stuff life throws at you is nothing more than a part of the human experience. It means you're a real person. So embrace it. Don't hide it, and never be afraid to reach out for help. Needing help from others does not somehow diminish us as people. It does not make us less of ourselves. It is part of the life we all lead, the experience we are all sharing together. And it's not, by any means, something we need to be ashamed of. After all, Rudolph could never have saved his family from the abominable snowman without Hermie and Yukon Cornelius, could he? So embrace it, and never stop asking for help when you need it. And so my only wish for us, class of 2019, is that we all go out and find those people with whom we can be independent together. Always remember that it is not a weakness to need others, to ask for help, to be vulnerable. On the flip side, it does not somehow make you stronger or more of an adult than those around you to isolate yourself from the world. So speak up, call your mom, and find your people and hold them close, because they are the greatest gift we will ever get. If we can do that, then I have no doubt that this class will do incredible things. Thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2019.
At this time, would senior members of the HBHS Honors Choir please come forward to perform On My Way by Phil Collins.
Da 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 tell everybody I'm on my way. New friends and new faces to see. With blue skies ahead, yes, I'm on my way. There's nowhere else that I'd rather be. Tell everybody I'm on my way. And I'm loving every step I take. With the sun beating down, yes, I'm on my way. And bring a smile off my face. 'Cause there's nothing like seeing each other again. No matter what the distance between. And the stories that we tell will make you smile. Oh, it really lifts my heart. So tell them all I'm on my way. New friends and new places to see. And to sleep under the stars, who could ask for more? With the moon keeping watch over me. Not the snow, not the rain can change my mind. The sun will come out, wait and see. And the feeling of the wind in your face can lift your heart. Oh, there's nowhere I would rather be. On my way well and truly, I'm on my way now.
Please join me in welcoming English teacher Mrs. Flaherty to present the 2019 commencement address.
Members of the SIU and school board, my wonderful colleagues, proud parents, families, and friends, and above all, the graduates of the class of 2019, I can't tell you how excited I am to be here with you. It feels poignant to join you up here on the 10-year anniversary of my own high school graduation. In choosing me to speak, your not-so-subtle attempt to give me homework for a change has actually led to some true reflection as I've dug through my experiences for something meaningful, something wise. I didn't really find much. You see, I went to college, and after many late nights writing many papers, I graduated and landed my dream job as an English teacher at Hollis Brookline High School. And that was it. I was 22 and I already had it all. How great is that? I guess it wasn't as easy as all that makes it sound. When I started here at 22, it felt a lot like when I started college at 17. I wasn't close to home. I didn't know anyone in the area. And I was doing something big and very new for the very first time. I was the first in my family to go to a university. I didn't really know other people that went to college. I didn't know how they changed when they got there or how they made friends. Coming from the city to this picture book New England town was actually kind of jarring. And so when I arrived at UNH, I felt like I didn't belong. I most certainly felt like I wasn't prepared to be there. At school, I would lie about where I was from because the name of the city carried a connotation of poverty. I stopped playing the flute, which was my passion, and I had so loved. I worked on my studies in a way that wasn't necessarily the best, but was a way to make me feel like I was working. I was trying to be this person who fit, the person who knew why she was there and what she was aiming for. But all I felt was like I knew nothing. I got C's on my assignments as I adjusted to how much harder college was compared to my high school. I had to learn social norms quickly through observation of my friends. I learned so many lessons the hard way and embarrassed myself a lot, like when my debit card would get rejected for insufficient funds, or when my parents both got sick and the money ran out. I made choices for a life I thought I wanted, but I didn't stop to ask myself the brutally honest question of why. This is not a sad story. I settled into my dream of being a teacher, and from that, I found my focus. I made friends, I brought my grades up, graduated summa cum laude, you get it. I found my why, and then I found it here at HB, and I continue to find it here 5 years later at the job I've dreamed about, at a place that I truly do belong. To think that feeling like I didn't belong at the first big, very new thing I did could have held me back from all that I have now feels surreal. Right out of high school, I had no idea I'd be privileged enough to work with teachers who inspire me daily with their dedication to their students, or how an inflatable turkey could feel like such a personal gift, an allusion to a friendship built over our years together. I had no idea that knowing this group of teenagers would change me and help me grow and lead me to this, a really incredible life that I am lucky enough to share with people like you. I see you here on the precipice of doing something big and very new for the very first time. For some of you, that means college, and others yet will go to work and pursue passions and careers, and in that same strain, a few of you are off to join the Army. You'll all be a part of things bigger than yourself, and that's perfect. It's your next big thing. At some point, I'm sure you too will feel like hiding something about yourself, or trying to fit in by being something other than who you are. But it was the vulnerability of being myself in a big new thing that brought me success and led me here, where I got to meet all of you. It was some honest affection that created our relationship, the same relationship that makes this my dream job. It's what makes me belong. So yeah, we've all warned you that what comes next is hard. Starting something new is hard. And it's truly different now that you're out of high school. So in all of this, I hope that you take time for yourself to really step away from others and think about what you want and how you'll get there. Remember that dreams aren't small and they can evolve or end, and then you get another. There's no expiration date, no limit on them. Leave here knowing that you have been loved and that we believe in you. And leave here knowing that what you've just experienced is only a very small part in the rest of your life. You've got a whole lot of big, very new things coming your way. Don't let it intimidate you. Let it free you. You never have to settle for the first thing that you become. Thank you, and congratulations.
Now we have some business to which to attend. Would Ms. Krista Whalen, Cooperative School Board Member, please step forward and join me in the presentation of the diplomas.
Kushali N. Patel. Dhruv Miglani. Rachel Joan Serrato. Gabrielle Rose Paquin. Jillian Rose O'Hara. Naomi Youngning Kopser. Catherine Emma Partridge. Vanessa M. Thomas. Jeremiah John Lonis. Jacob Ryan Martinos. Alexandria Elizabeth Carr. Matthew Michael McDonald. Julia Ellen Pepin. Chelsea E. McNamara. Mark Connor LeBach. Sophia Elisa Barassi. Tess Crooks. Nora Elizabeth Miller. Nicole Sales Plummer. Laura Rose Brusso. Addison Colby Rodonis Ainger. Reagan Josephine Berry. Joshua H. Schultz. Justin Darrell Livesey. Benjamin Sarin Fitzgerald. Abigail Saram Fitzgerald. Brooke Ashley Haynes. Mia Sarah Pickard. Andrew William Elkin. Luke Timothy Sulin. Ronald L. Hillard. Zachary Philip Oliver. Natalie Rachel Bronfine. Camille Mackenzie Walsh. Kathleen E. Souza. Kevin Hallerman. Bethany Francis Pender. Min Denai Sawadi. Gabrielle Monroe. Autumn R. Farrow. Dale A. Jacobs. Kyle David Swope. Chad Eric Brown. Benjamin William Lindsay. Emma Joyce Pellerin. Holly Elizabeth Hazelton. Ethan Mercier. Mark Lagasse. Caroline Clarissa Pack. Caitlin Allison Hinchliff. Connor Farwell. Dominic Romallo. Kelsey Crosby Sweeney. Caroline P. Smith. Jacob Jermaine Torgerson. Jason Vincent Fiore, Jr. Logan Scott Morrow. Dylan Thomas Taranzoni. Caitlin Sova. Olivia Renee Valentine. Kelly Ann Willett. Ava Maria Carolyn Akatazewski. Mia Feller Moore. Riley William Gary. Daniel Gabriel Hyatt. Robert Paul Bardani. Stephanie Lynn Menard. Isabel Jewel Menard. Shayna Morgan Vallette. Claire Seddon. Kenneth Ronald Corsetti. Evan Greenwood Simons. Ashley Robin Guthrie. Kelly Ann Schultz. Zachary Scott Brickner. Tyler James St. Pierre. Alexandra Elizabeth Bates. Madison Elizabeth Norris. Elizabeth Althea Atkinson. Brody Ann Kelly. Amy Elizabeth Norton. Peter Christopher Shazinski. Alec McCacken. Ashley Mayo. Natalie Ann Cook. Lindsay D. Barabee. Timothy Peter Giaconia. Daniel Patrick Fallon. Cordelia Elaine Scales. Mackenzie Elizabeth Gavin. Lauren Sue Ann Hoovener. Brianna Diane DeJoy. Jonathan Edgar Kroposki. Connor Zorn. Emmy Elizabeth White. Scott J. Anniser. Alexander Jude Doherty. Maddock Guy Lewis. Jordan Margaret Mazzola. Andrea Renee Lawner. Quinn Yardley. Catherine Marie Townsend. Holly Jane Maloney. Tegan Michael Hudzik. Ashley Mariah Burt. Amanda Taylor Elvins. Samuel Dale Koch. Andrew John Wink. Skylar Angelina Mack. Ashlyn Irene Hoey. Kyle Nelson Shu. Marie Sarabeth Borkowski. Nathan P. Blake. Sean Cunanan. Brandon A. Iodice. Myra Isabel Morin. Kara Kelly Lukovitz. Ashlyn Elizabeth Mansfield. Jacob Joseph Ponders. Nathaniel Asher Grattan. Mia Catherine Focus. Ella Whittemore. Tristan Edward Honinger. Jacob Andrew Terrell. Dana Ashley Ulrich. Lindsay Ann Wood. Jack Thomas Sinclair. Kira Schuyler Belden. Max H. Mello. Kaido Kramarsik. Jason Thomas Palmieri. David Jacob Cherkasky. Paige Angela Salinas. Sarah Birch. Robert Linwood Dwyer III. Daniel Allen DeLong. Madeline R. King. Sydney Karubo Okindo. Crystal Lynn Plumidor. Jeffrey Arnold. Delaney Grace McDonald. Kiera T. Dean. Matthew J. Bolio. Patrick Timothy Carden. Ryan M. Gregory. Zachary Wilson Boudreau. Avery Marie DeRusso. Lucian David Boudreau. Elise Gabrielle Ferguson. Serena Ann Mahoney. Samantha Suzanne Randlett. Eliza Lynn Vertulo. Taylor Frawley O'Connell. Kylie Ann Whiting. Rachel Morgan Ash. Maya Gabriela Ruvido. Grace Irene Catalanotti. Erin M. Moynihan. Joseph Taylor Caswell. Joseph Messina. Mackenzie Elizabeth Wood. Cassidy Lynn Piggott. Andrew John Katarski. Cole R. Moores. Brock Hayden Holman. Stacy Marie Willett. Sydney Marie Spear. Morgan Grace Wright. Kylie Jean DeBlois. Michael Philip Gillespie, Jr. Justin Zielinski. Matthew L. Hutchinson. Zaki Azar Qureshi. Jacob Abraham. Sarah Marie Watrous. Anna Marie Gessel. Delaney J. Kowalczyk. Ian Kingsley Babcock. Joseph Ronald Dias. Alyssa Sierra Hall. Caleb Nicholas Gannon. Elise Emily Bender. Reagan Berry. Jordan Stone. Gabriel Buen Pacifico Colina. Nathan Cole Eisenhower. Felix Yang. Kyle D. Simpson. Charlie P. Graves. Timothy Belanger. Joshua Andrew Ward. Heather Stone. Caitlin Heidel. Johanna Elizabeth Golden. Amira Zara Sophia Elfidil. Hannah Wilton. Maya Ann Kaplan. Revathi Nithapalan. Holly M. Cardoza. Anna Felicity Clifton. Owen Worcester Macmillan. Michael Dominic Moscatelli.
Before I certify the class, I just want to take a moment and thank the committee, the graduation committee, for putting all this together, our custodians, secretaries, and teachers for all the time and hard effort they put into today's ceremony. Thank you. Class of 2019, please stand. By the powers vested in me in the state of New Hampshire, I now certify the class of 2019. You may move your tassel from right to left. Congratulations.